Okay, here we go, and we want to start an HTML learning. To get started, first just type exclamation marks so that the talk tab is ready to come up and press enter. Just type exclamation, and here you go. Whenever you want to create a website, just type exclamation mark and it would come pop up. And you don't need to learn it or memorize it, this code anymore. Just use exclamation mark for that, and it's enough. Okay, here in HTML we have a head with a body, head for links and websites name, which is used here for CSS or other links. But the main our work in VS Code is the body. So just focus on the body. Okay, let me explain first with the head, and the first one is meta. The first meta is tell us about our Chrome is the UTF-8 mode. It means language of the code for reading, and usually we always use it. There is no need to change it. The second one does not need to change it, and the third one we can type your website name. You can name the site whatever you want. I will call it the first project. Okay, I will explain the most important code you need to learn, and I will not explain extra time on normal code that you don't need to learn it and you don't have to learn it. Also, HTML is very simple, so don't worry. Just learn these codes and that I will teach you. Work more with your hand to not see the videos again. By creating the code, I will write one question for you to answer after each tutorial. If you want, don't answer. It won't take 10 seconds. Just try to solve it. Okay, let's start with the first code. On the website, we use H1 to write the word in uppercase or the title of the website. H1 for the word head and the title most used. So if you want to write title, just use H1. And I write Gamian now. Okay, and now after h1 you see a slash h1, which means your code h1 is end, and you don't need to create a slash because VS Code will do always your work easier. Now after you create the code, you must save it to upload on your website. Just click on Ctrl S and it will save it in HTML, or you can go to menu to save it. And now you can see the word of the Gamian in your website. Now if you see the word is big, or we use h2, and we can use it up to 6 for that. And know that you can adjust the font size and the small in CSS, and the CSS needs HTML to know what you have in your body of your website to style it. So first step is HTML and write the code, and the next step is CSS. Well, now we use the word P to write the description and text. And don't worry about it being small, we will get it to the style in time. Let's say we want to upload image in our website. For that, just click on the word img and press enter. And VS Code will write the image code for you. Don't worry that one day you forget this code, because I want you to enjoy the creating website. I like to create your own world, just like you create Minecraft world. Now src, which is the same, it means source. You must write the name of the image and tell your website where the image is or what the folder have. Let me copy image to our website folder and type his name in src. Okay, I type in his name, and now about the alt, most of the time, if image not upload or not come up, alt do it for you. So write the something even if it's one word, so that if image has a problem with uploading, the tool will fix it. And now let's go to the code of the video. Now to link the video in HTML or our website, just write the word video and press enter again. and it will make the VS Code our work easier. Fill src in a video to make your video appear in your website. I copy video on the folder and link his name. You can add width and height, but there is no need because we use CSS for everything. You can add to play or muted to mute a video and the loop. But the main is control to create a system video. And you can add more like poster or preload and other thing if you want. And if you want more, just click on Ctrl space in your keyboard and it will come up all of the code of the video. Now let's go to the next code, and the next code is A, which use for links to website and other HTML. Let me write an example. Type A and press enter. I copy this Google links and paste it in href. Now if you go to the website, you see when you click it, it goes to the Google. And the last code is for creating a menu, but I will show you in the next lesson. HTML is just a skeleton of the website, and our main work is CSS, so don't worry too much about HTML. It has two more code that you must learn it, and your website game will start. Very well, we have reached the main part of the tutorial, which are the two of the main part of the HTML. And I must say that if you don't learn this, it will be difficult for your coding. Now, have you seen other courses that tell you div means separates? It sends two things to the next line and the span stick in the same line in the front of each other. Of course, it's true, but I don't know why they don't tell you about the main story. Even I watched 5 courses, but in the end, I learned it by myself. No one said anything about this magical code. They don't tell you the secret of the HTML. But let me explain it. In my opinion, div is the son of HTML who leads his father to the success. Now, let me explain what I mean. First, come and look at this site. Right click, it will be open a menu. Click on inspect. Finally, when you click on inspect, it will show the codes of the website, all of them, and how I style it, and which code was used. Well, look here, you will see the most codes used is div and a lot of div, of course. Now, what is div and what is the secret of these beautiful and magical codes? Well, let's do something. You see icon mouse window, click on it, and when you move it to the div, it will show what style code that has used. But I want to show you what is div, so don't pay attention about the code. Now, when we are on the page, we see that this div called hero, which is have 100 width and 100 height. When you go up, you will see that another div has been created inside the hero, and its name is header, which is the head of the website, and the div head have the menu and logo, and another div for the text. Now, what does a div mean? Imagine you have a box. You call it a hero and you put a ball and other things in it. Now you know that if we haven't box, then all the pieces will be separated. But when we use the div, the box will host of the ball and other things. What I mean is, it's just like making a game where every part you make has a specific purpose and function. If you learn div, then you are ready to create a website. Maybe it's little difficult to understand it, but let me teach you how to use a div. Guys, sometimes you don't need to watch the video to understand it. Create it yourself and think about it to learn it. Well, to start, create a div. Now to give it a name, I use a class, which is this, for this tutorial. Don't forget, if you want to name the code you created, use class. We saw on the website that hero has a width of 100 and height of 100. We do the same thing, but we start create HTML first and style it later. Let me name it all follower, or if you want to name it whatever you like, it doesn't matter, but I use a simple name to learn it easy. Well, now in all folder, like the previous sites that it had a head website, I will put another div inside all folder. I will put a div inside all folder because all folder is our real box and name it folder. In a folder, which is the head of the website, if you remember, it has a logo and a list of menu. We put a logo and menu list. Now, if you have a picture, like I said, you type img and fill src, that's where your image is. But instead, I use the typing for this tutorial. And don't forget, whenever you make a code, you can name it. You can name it with a class. And now I name it logo to change its color and or make a font big or small. I put an h1 and type the logo. We usually use ul for the list of item. You can replace it with a div for h1, but I personally use ul a lot. It means a list group that contains the list. We will name it menu, and inside ul type li, which means list. I will call first home, and the second about, and the third contact. Oh, I forgot the block, so let be a second one, and let be a second list of the block. Okay, well, now if we will look at our website, I see that doesn't look good, of course, because we still haven't used CSS. I made a box menu and logo box and all of them on the folder, which is our head of the website, and the main div is all folder. Now we have other option which is very easy to use and they never mention in any courses, but let me show you what is it. Now instead use a div and set his name for use a class. First come and open code and now type his name. Now I will put all folder for the box and then type his head, folder, and the mist and logo. You see, this is a very simple of the code. Now this is my trick. It's very easy. Even if you go in a CSS, your work will be easy, no need to class anymore. But here, if you create a website like this, they will say to you noob coder because you didn't learn HTML code and use your own code. But seriously guys, who cares if you create a beautiful website with your own code instead of HTML? Now what is the difference? Just create what you love, screw them all. Just create your own code, but I think you should learn HTML code because if you want to work in a company, it's need real code. And yeah, this is a whole HTML course. Now no need to learn other things or not important. This div code is the main HTML. Just use this, and if you think it's not enough, then go to see another courses, and that's okay. Our goal is just simple website and simple code. Okay, anyway guys, I only made the body of the website. In order to build a real website, we will use a CSS. Now we will go in a CSS tutorial. But before that guys, one thing you shouldn't forget, always remember that if you want to link your CSS file in the HTML, you must go to the head and link it. You can write it by yourself, write a style and style every code, but I think it's better to create a format for so that it doesn't mess with HTML too much. I go to the head and type link CSS. VS Code will do our work, no need to memorize it. We have always VS Code, so don't worry about that. I create a new document, the style.css. The format is a CSS. Now I will link it. Write style.css in href, and your work is done. Now go to CSS and start working.